Hey guys, Vic from Airvol here, your trusted Canadian CPAP supplier. And in today's video, I'm going to go over 5 common mistakes that you could be making with your CPAP therapy. All right, starting with 1, giving up on your therapy way too soon just because you don't feel energized yet. So I do know that with sleep apnea, one of the most common symptoms is daytime tiredness or fatigue. Oftentimes people with sleep apnea are very tired, and when they get on CPAP therapy, finally you're looking for that immediate relief and hoping that you wake up the next morning feeling great. However, for most people, that's not the case. There's a lot of physiological changes that your body goes through when it's adapting to CPAP therapy. So your first couple of weeks or even up to your month might be a little bit rough with therapy, where you're still feeling about as tired or maybe even more tired as you're getting used to CPAP therapy. However, the magic happens once you keep up with consistency. Most users, after a month to 2 months in therapy, that's where they start feeling the real benefits of PAP therapy, and your body will thank you for it. Number 2, it's choosing a full face mask unnecessarily. So a lot of people will just default to a full face mask because they'll say, well, I am a mouth breather when I go to sleep. Well, most people with untreated sleep apnea do mouth breathe when they go to sleep. It's your way of getting better respiratory effort when you're having a hard time breathing. So you don't want to necessarily gauge which type of mask to use based on how you sleep, but you also want to gauge how you normally breathe when you're awake and active. So when you're awake and active, if you're comfortably breathing through your nose and you don't really need the assistance of your mouth to get a good breath of air, then that's a good indication that you can get used to a smaller nasal mask with your CPAP therapy once you're getting that air pressure support. Okay, so number 3, another mistake that you could be making is overusing your machine's ramp setting. So all CPAP devices have a setting called ramp, where your device will actually start at a lower than prescribed pressure initially, helping you get used to it, and then it'll gradually ramp up to your prescribed pressure. Oftentimes people forget about this setting and they leave it on their device even months after their therapy when they're fully acclimated to their prescription pressure. And what this does is it keeps them at a low end pressure when they start their night, and this can result in a bit of uncomfortable symptoms. So if you're feeling like you're getting a bit of shortness of breath, or you're waiting for your machine to really come on and you don't really know what's going on, check your ramp setting, and you might have that still on. Turn it off and try the equipment without it, and you might feel a lot more relieved once you've actually gotten used to your machine and now that ramp setting is no longer serving its purpose. Okay. Number 4, similar to the ramp setting, you could be overusing your APAP open range setting. So most people, when they get their CPAP or APAP devices these days, they're set to an open range pressure where the machine auto adjusts from a low end pressure up to a high end pressure. And this is great to get data points on which pressures, therapy pressures, might be actually suitable for you. But if you keep it at this open range, after a while, you may feel like you're not getting the benefits of CPAP therapy that you initially were receiving. And the reason for this is because if you haven't recalibrated your APAP setting, your machine has to work a little bit every time to get up to your prescribed pressure. What's usually recommended is after a few weeks to a month of using the device, you would get your sleep physician to assess your report and recalibrate your machine based on those data points. And this will sustain your long-term benefits for CPAP therapy. Number 5, last but not least, it's keeping your CPAP equipment clean and not falling behind on your cleaning routine. It is recommended about once a week. You do want to clean your mask, your tubing, your water chamber with soap and water. And doing that on a weekly basis. You can even use mask wipes to clean your mask on a daily basis as a stopgap between your washing. If you fall behind on your cleaning, this could result to irritation when you're putting your mask on, and this could result in you not ending up using your CPAP machine for as long as you normally would have. We hope you enjoyed these tips and common mistakes that you could make about your CPAP therapy. Comment down below, hit that like and subscribe button, and stay tuned for next time.